Today, we're introducing a concept called game juice. We are going to uncover those sneaky, invisible mechanics that make our absolute favorite games so undeniably, universally satisfying to play. Let's get right into it. Think back to that universal gamer experience. You pick up a controller, you press a button, and the world reacts. It feels incredible. Every jump has serious weight, and every single hit crunches. But then you boot up another game, and it just feels totally lifeless. Kind of floaty. Honestly, it's like you're just clicking a cell in a spreadsheet and watching a number politely tick down. So why does that happen? What actually separates these living, breathing worlds from the totally sterile ones? Picture this. On one hand, you have characters that just sort of slide across the floor with zero friction. Attacks are weightless, and getting a knockout is literally just watching a health bar hit zero. Yawn, right? Now, on the other hand, imagine heavy momentum, the deeply satisfying crunch of an impact, and absolute screen-filling chaos. Here's the wild part. Underneath the hood, the mathematical rules of these two examples might be perfectly identical. They could literally be the same game in terms of raw code. That visceral, night and day difference you're feeling? That is game juice. Game juice is the accumulated layer of sensory feedback that makes player interactions feel satisfying, responsive, and alive. The absolute key phrase here is, without changing the underlying rules. It's every visual, auditory, and kinesthetic embellishment that developers layer on top to make things hit harder. You aren't changing the base damage a sword does. You are purely changing how it feels to swing it. This concept is grounded in Steve Swink's definitive 2008 book on the subject. He describes this overarching sensation as the tactile sensation of manipulating a digital agent. Think about Super Mario for a second. Controlling Mario feels fundamentally joyful, even if you took away all the Goombas, the coins, and the elaborate levels, and just tossed Mario into an empty, boring gray room. It would still be fun just to run and jump around. That pure joy of movement, that direct, tactile connection between your thumb and the digital world, is the foundational building block here. The term juice itself actually caught fire at the Game Developers Conference in 2012. Martin Jonassen and Petri Perho gave a now legendary talk called Juice It or Lose It. They took a functional but incredibly basic clone of Breakout and step by step coded layers of feedback onto it. We're talking squash and stretch on the paddles, intense screen shake, wild particle trails, rich sound. By the end of the demo, the two versions had the same rules, but one was thrilling to play. There is a catch, often explained through the fruit analogy. Think of a well-designed core game as the fruit. The juice is just what you extract from it. If your core gameplay loop is boring, broken, or frustrating, throwing a bunch of screen-shaking explosions at it won't save it. Actually, polishing a broken core usually amplifies exactly how broken it is. The juice must always serve, echo, and reinforce the gameplay that is already there. Context is also everything. Imagine putting massive, chaotic screen shake into a slow, atmospheric, psychological horror game. It would completely shatter the immersion. But if you use subtle secondary animations, like a character's shoulders visibly slumping when they read a bad letter, suddenly, immersion skyrockets. To understand the industry better, let's distinguish three common terms. Game feel, the broadest concept, the entire tactile experience and physical sensation. Game juice, narrower and highly actionable, specific embellishments such as particles and screen shake. Polish, overall quality of life improvements like fixing bugs or smooth menu transitions. Juice is not just cosmetic fluff or sprinkles added at the end. It is vital for information delivery. A hit reaction proves an attack connected. Popping damage numbers quantify your strength. Without this feedback, players are flying blind. Juice speaks to our core psychological need for competence. Every time the screen shakes or an enemy crunches, the game communicates, your actions matter, you are effective. This feeds the compulsion loop. Action. The player performs a move. Feedback, the juice provides a micro reward. Motivation, the reward motivates the next action. You now know the invisible language of gaming. Armed with this knowledge, what game are you going to squeeze first?